Just got to Pro World Monday morning and it's so dark. The time changed yesterday and it's only 7 a.m. but it's like hard to see. That's crazy.
As far away that way as possible. God!
Just got a single session in with Nico. And got 2 more sessions today. There's only 2 days until I play in Texas. So I got to train today and then I'm gonna try to get a session in the morning tomorrow and then fly later in the day tomorrow. It's crazy, there's like no time to rest in between these tournaments, but feeling pretty rough. I think I may have averaged 5 hours of sleep the past several days, which is partially my fault and partially from just having a lot of work to do and having to travel back and forth to hotels and stuff like that while I was at the last tournament, and didn't sleep much last night either and picked up some like very minor cold, I think. So, but I just need the reps today. So this is the only chance I'm gonna have to really work on anything in between now and the tournament coming up. So I'm gonna go get a shower and stock my fridge for 1 day of food. So I'm just gonna get eggs and some ground beef and fruit and things like that, because I'll be gone after that. But these 2 days are kind of my chance to get my health back in shape, because I didn't sleep well, I didn't eat so great. So I'm gonna go get healthy foods. I'm gonna go get some kombucha for my gut health. I had a lot of dairy while I was traveling, just like sour cream and Chipotle bowls and cheese and ice cream. I had too much ice cream, and my body is feeling very put out. So I'm gonna really harp on sleep and eating right these 2 days while I'm here. And also when I get to Texas, thankfully, I'll be staying with a friend. Shout out to Lance. So hopefully I'll be able to actually cook there instead of having to always pick up something or eat from, you know, food trucks. To make matters even more interesting, the reverse lockout cable on my car stopped working yesterday. And you probably don't know what a reverse lockout cable is. I didn't either, but it's what allows, I have a stick shift car, and it allows me to pick up on the clutch and shift into reverse. So now I can't shift into reverse. So I've had to like park at angles so that I can let my car roll backwards out of the parking space and then shift it into first and go. And this morning though, like where I live, the parking lot's completely flat. So I had to open my car door and start pushing my car until it was far enough out of the spot, and then like jump in, hop on the brakes, and you know, put it in first gear and go forward. And I know I need to take it to get serviced, or you can actually replace it yourself. I was looking on YouTube, it's not that hard. But also I leave tomorrow, so I feel like I don't even have the time to like get the part in. I'll probably have to order it to be back when I'm gone. So I'm just gonna have to figure it out for now. So I want to get a video of it though. It's really funny. Like if I have to pull it out of a parking lot at a grocery store or something like that, I'll try to set up a camera, but I don't know. I got this fruit bowl from Publix. I try not to be too paranoid about everything. But I try to eat organic produce normally. And I get these little fruit bowls and they're not organic, and I don't really care sometimes. But I feel like I can actually taste the chemicals on this one in particular. And yeah, I don't know. Should I eat this? I mean, I think I'm gonna eat it. You know what they say, here for a good time, not a long time. Here to eat glyphosate covered fruits and die at 35.
Figured it out. Doesn't matter how. Doesn't matter what. What I do is the wrist and this one. Ball.
All right, we only had 2 sessions today. Third session canceled. That's pickleball. There's 2 things you can count on in pickleball: your partner's dropping you and people canceling sessions. That's stuff like that happens a lot, but I mean, people have lives and they have to do things, so I get it. I've definitely canceled sessions before for sickness or other concerns. But anyways, got a little ground beef in the system. I've got the sweet tooth. I don't know if I'll ever get rid of the sweet tooth, So what I did was I made the ground beef, seasoned it, and then after cooking it, when I put it in the bowl, I took honey and drizzled it over the ground beef, and it hits. It's so good. So I think that might be my new go-to. I know it's a weird combo, but you got to do crazy things to get crazy results, okay? That's just, if you want to go somewhere you've never been before, you got to do something you've never done before. So that's the motto. And I just got this tripod thing in the mail, so I'll be able to start mounting my phone and miking up my training sessions again. But this is the night before. I'm flying to Texas tomorrow morning, noonish, and I only had one full day back in Delray at my place. So I'm just glad I got 2 sessions in. Unfortunately, I didn't sleep that well last night because I was doing some work things, but I'm gonna try to get a good night's sleep tonight, and get my before I do that, I've got to get my forearm routine going again, because when I was practicing today, I kind of have the yips, and the yips, I describe it that way because that's kind of a term from baseball and maybe other sports too, but it's just where something goes wrong with your body, and your body's not doing what you want it to do. And that's been kind of happening to me on my backhand with my flicks and rolls and my two-handed backhand. The brain-body connection is just messed up a little bit, and when I go to swing, my wrist and hand are kind of doing weird things, and it's causing me to miss balls. So I need to be really intentional with the rehab. I need to be consistent with it, doing band work and deep tissue massaging, and working on the nerve, putting magnesium cream on it. So those are some things that I've got to dial in on. And today in my practice sessions, some takeaways. The two-handed backhand really stood out to me. I was struggling with it today, like trying to hit passing shots from the baseline. And Nico, who I was drilling with, kind of told me, what you're hitting with is not a tennis racket. It doesn't have strings. And I was basically hitting the ball and closing my paddle face so much that a lot of balls are going into the net, because the paddle just doesn't grip it like a tennis racket does. It doesn't have enough grip to take the ball and put a lot of topspin on it. You almost have to kind of like shovel the ball over the net. But so I worked on some things. In the second session, I figured out that if I really exaggerated my follow through over my shoulder, it would give me enough topspin to get that rush up the back of the ball and dip over the net a little bit. And then I went for some cross court passing shots, or kind of like hybrid drop drive shots from the backhand, and those were really a struggle. It's just so hard. If the ball is like moving away from you on the backhand side, it's so hard to get around it and to be able to scoop the ball and take it cross court. It's just very difficult to get the paddle around the ball like that, because it doesn't sink into the paddle nearly as much as it does with a tennis racket with strings. Is what it is. I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. If there's a bunch of pros out there doing it pretty successfully at a high success rate, then I know it's possible to learn it. But it's just one of those things where it feels like I'm never gonna get it. But I know, looking back to the past, when I have felt that way, it always feels like that. And then one day you kind of just have it, and you look back and go, oh man, I thought I would never get that shot. I thought it would never work for me. but with a lot of reps and practice and intentional work, it becomes possible, and then it becomes more consistent. And I think a big thing for me is going to be focusing on where I want the ball to go and not really what I'm doing with my body. Because when I was trying to hit that cross-court shot today, I realized I was thinking so much about my paddle position and how my feet were and all that stuff. Well, the brain, it knows what to do. Like, it'll make the corrections for me. So I just started dialing in and really focusing on the spot on the court where I wanted the ball to go. And I just kind of let my body do whatever it wanted to do to achieve that outcome. And the shots started looking better. Not great, but definitely better. So this has been kind of a ramble. I've got a little cold. I am lacking sleep, so I'm very delusional. So I'm just going to shut up and go to bed. I actually do have more to yap about, and something that's been on my mind lately that I've been thinking about is how these pros got to where they are and how some of the most currently successful people on the tour got to where they are. And I was thinking, and it's like, no one is perfect. No one's training perfectly. They're not eating perfectly. They're not sleeping perfectly. They're not living in a perfect way to optimize their life for pickleball, because it's not possible. It's not possible, especially with just how turbulent pickleball is in general, with the way the tours work, with all the travel. But what resonated with me that I thought of was like, it's about who can consistently make the most good decisions over a long period of time. And that applies to the training and life aspect of it, and it also applies in a match. When you're playing a match, people are going to make bad decisions and might speed up a ball that they shouldn't, but it's the accumulation of who's making the most good decisions over and over again. And that applies same thing to training and living life. So I've been thinking about how can I make the most good decisions in a day to set me up for success. Like, I'm inevitably going to stumble. I'm inevitably going to stay up later than I should one night, but am I gonna let that snowball, or am I gonna wake up the next day and see how many things I can do right? And doing as many good decisions as possible over a long period of time adds up to exponential progress, exponential success, in my opinion. And kind of looking at some of the current pros and just being kind of tangentially close and acquaintances with some of them, and observing what they do and how they live, I can kind of see that. The ones that are doing really well and successful are living a certain way. And last thing I'll share, full transparency here, put it out in public, so I'll have to be accountable for it. But my struggle right now is really overconsumption of social media content. I have to go on social media for work, but I get sucked into it so easily, and I waste so much time watching things, and it's not productive. It turns my brain into, just dopamine mush. And but it does suck a lot of the time out of my day that I could be even when I'm not like training on a court, I could be watching film or reading my Bible or praying or doing things that actually matter. So that's going to be the next kind of obstacle to tackle. And I've talked to my coach about it a little bit, and I kind of love the stuff he's throwing at me. I'm going to be looking into some tools to help manage that. And also, he told me to do crazy stuff, and I love it. Like, do crazy stuff. That's the motto. Like, you got to go to drastic measures to fix things in your life. So just for example, today, I'm pretty sure I already mentioned it, but like, I can't shift my car into reverse. So at least twice today, I had my car door open in a parking lot, and I was pushing my car backwards until I had enough space to go forwards with the car. And it is what it is. Just gotta make it work, because don't have time to get a part in and have it repaired. So, but doing crazy things is fun, and I'm looking forward to finding really unorthodox ways to train and to live life and just kind of exist in the pickleball sphere and in general. So stay tuned for some of that. Try to put some crazy things on these videos. And last but not least, I did secure a sponsor, and I will not announce it yet. I'll probably make its own video probably after the qualies. I'll probably make a video about it, but I'm really grateful for that, and looking forward to sharing. Have a good night. See you guys tomorrow.